And we're live. Hey everybody. Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. And today's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. January 21st. We're almost 1 month through Q4 already, guys. Believe it or not. Not Q4. 2020. We're almost a month through 2020. Not Q4. Hi, Holly. Everybody, welcome in, Holly. I run amok there at the wrench. It's one of my moderators and very good friends. In fact, she's my work wife. You're gonna have to bear with me. I had the stomach flu Thursday through Sunday, and then as soon as I started to feel better from the stomach flu, I'm not sure if this is allergies or a head cold, but now I have something else that's just causing my throat to be weird, and my nose is like sniffly, and I have like a lot of sinus pressure. So just bear with me. My head is kind of not in the game tonight, and my voice might sound funny from time to time. I did have a hot tea with honey and a cough drop before coming on to help the vocals. Let's read what people are saying. Pete says, hello, I'll look for some hope and motivation tonight. eBay died. And someone, yeah, I read that in the Facebook group. I'm really sorry that happened to you. Hopefully we can come up with some ideas tonight for all of us to start making sales again. But we're going to talk about some other stuff too. Hello, Resale Rejects, Cherry Picker, Rhonda and Amelia, welcome in. Small Town Pickers. Dawn is here. Matt, Manx, MM Manx. There's another Donna. Is there two Donnas, or did I read one Donna twice? Well, hello, all Donnas. Hello, Virginia. And Tasha. Amy, the Nebraska Hanger. Jason Deason's in the house, guys. He's the other one with the wrench there. You guys know him as the thrift trader. Says, eBay's dead for us too. Awesome weekend, but dead yesterday and today. All the while listing like crazy. Yeah, that's something we're going to talk about. You got to make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing first. And we're going to get into that as we get into the show. But sometimes, even when you're doing everything you should be, eBay's a fickle beast, guys. Fickle. Jacob, Amy, Tasha, welcome in. Already welcome, Tasha. That's okay. I told you guys my brain is foggy. You need a work wife. Yes, I do. And we're actually going to talk about that as well. Not necessarily getting a work wife, but we're going to talk about how to stay motivated by building yourself a support group. Hank is here. Has been dead for me for about a week with listing most days. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that so much. I've actually started a new, I don't want to call it a drug or whatever, medication. I've started a new herbal supplement that actually Holly, my work wife, recommended to me, that her doctor recommended to her, that there's a thing in your body, and I forget what it's called, because I did a bunch of research over the weekend, but there's something in your body. It's this little thing that sits in your chest behind your heart. And it is what actually produces most of the things in your body that helps your immune system or boosts your immunity. And it works 1000% when you're a small child. And it secretes less and less of the stuff that makes you immune and works less and less as you get older. And I think that's probably what's going on here is, you guys, I'll be 42 in May, believe it or not. So we're going to try this. I got this supplement that's specific for that gland in an immune booster with some other like golden seal, I think, and echinacea. So we're going to see. I'm going to try it for a month, and if I seem to get sick less, I'm going to stay on it. But I've been getting sick more and more often lately, and that's the only thing I could think of, because when I was younger, I used to work in the healthcare field. I used to be around people with colds and flus, and I used to clean up body fluids like vomit and poop. You guys don't want to know that, but that's what direct care workers do. And I was around people that were really sick, like with Hep B and stuff in the nursing homes. And I like got sick once every freaking decade. And all of a sudden, now that I work from home and I'm not around germs all the time, that was crossed my mind too. Like, is it because I'm not around germs all the time that my immune system isn't built up as much? But then I read about that little gland. So we're going to try this. If this doesn't work, I'm going to go talk with my primary care physician again and let her know. And it could be allergies or something too. So we'll see. Pretty sure that I just am getting old and am more sickly because I'm an old fart. Storage Scavenger, welcome in Ladies Closet. Tammy White's in the house. Kelly's here for the first time. Welcome in, Kelly. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Scott. Believable Blessings, the nursing flipper. I was just talking to her on Instagram before I came on. We were actually talking about the race to the bottom and how a lot of things are comping really low anymore. Megan, Nate, hi, guys. Hi, Northwest Purple Sparkles. Robin says, slow weekend for me, barely any sales. Hi, Pamela's Procurements. I like saying her name. Pamela's Procurements. Dun, 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 dun. Up and down, up and down. Nate says he turned 53 on Friday. Well, happy birthday! Nate is 53 years young. Nurse Flipper will be 42 in November. So I'm actually older than you. Yeah, so we're going to see if taking these supplements helps. I personally think it's a combination of, I wish I could remember what that darn thing is called. And I put the Amazon vitamins they came in an Amazon box today. I put them in there. They're not vitamins, they're like a supplement. Whatever that thing is, it works less and less effectively as you get older. And I think that coupled with the fact that I'm more of a recluse now than ever before, like I legit leave to go to the post office every day and once a week for errands. We're not even sourcing right now. So I think that my body is probably becoming less immune as I get older and I'm not around germs for it to learn how to fight them anymore. Plus, I don't get the flu shot anymore. I don't because I stay home and I'm like, whatever, I don't need the flu shot. And it used to be a requirement for my job. Everyone in direct care knows that, or if you're a nurse or whatever, you have to get the flu shot so that you're not bringing in germs to your patients and your folks you're taking care of. Lemon water, yep. See my lemon in there? I'm drinking lots of that. The vitamin C helps too. Erica, did I say hi to you? Bailey, did I say hi to you? Hi, guys. Well, see, the thing is, I've been getting sick more and more since, like, last summer, and we haven't sourced, really. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm dying. Maybe I have some rare disease and I'm dying. I'm afraid to go online and look at too much stuff. You know, people that do that, they freak themselves out. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, no to the apple cider vinegar. That just makes me vomit and poop for days in it. TMI, but I've tried it once. I got one dose in and felt like I had the flu. It's one of those times where I was sitting on the toilet and puking in the trash can at the same time. I will not touch that stuff ever again. All right, Gnome and the Frog are here, guys. They're also moderators. You see them there with Blue Wrench. That is Bill and David, married partners and very, very, very dear good friends of mine. They're pretty awesome dudes. I love them. eBay, so slow. Futurebell. I probably didn't pronounce that right. That's okay. I tried. Jeez. They cut off your ring. I first read that, Virginia. They cut off your ring finger. And I was like, oh my God. But it was just your ring. Never mind, LOL. I still use it on my hair. I use apple cider vinegar as a rinse on my hair a bit. I'm going to close my mouth real tight. I cannot. My body doesn't like it. Is it Bill or David? It's usually both of them, Scott. But let's ask and see. All right. So let's get started into the show. And then if you miss any of this, you can always catch the replay. I always, it loads to YouTube at the end. I do want to tell everyone before I get started, guess what's to the right of me? Guess what's over here on the floor? It's a thread up box. So guess what I'll be doing live tomorrow? I'm hoping for like around noon or 1 Eastern Standard Time. If I miss that because I'm doing something else or busy, I'm going to aim for, I think 4 o'clock, but we may have an appointment. So it may have to be in the evening. And then if things just fall apart, as they usually do for me, I'll be back Thursday. But I do have a thread up box here that I will be opening live with you guys. All right. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story about the day we had 0 sales. None on eBay, none on Poshmark, none on Boxery, none on Amazon, none local. That was Thursday, which was a day, January 16th, right? So, baby Yoda, it's a thread up box. Okay, I'm going to talk through and try not to get distracted by comments, which I like to do. But hello, Mel and Deb! They are another married couple that does reselling together and also friends of mine who I just love. All right, they are She Sells Resells, if you didn't see them say hi. Let me just talk because I get distracted. So last Thursday, we had 0 sales. We had absolutely zilch 0 across every single platform locally. And in fact, it was such a poop day of all poop days that we didn't even sell any guides. I didn't sell any store reviews. Like nothing happened at all. And I think I had like the lowest viewership on my YouTube channel on that day. And I was sick too. So I kind of was just like, I don't care. But if I had been well and trying to work, that would have been really disappointing. Here's the thing. The last time we had a day where we didn't have to go to the post office because we didn't have any sales, not because it was a weekend or a holiday, but the last time that we had no sales and did not need a trip to the post office was May 10th, 2017. And you're all looking at me like I'm crazy. Star, how do you remember that it was May 10th, 2017 so specifically? Because my birthday's May 9th, and it was the day after my birthday. It was 2017. It was a year and a couple months after I first got injured and disabled at work. And it was the day after my birthday. And because we didn't have to go to the post office because we had no packages, Keith and I decided, hey, let's go to the bins, because this is back when we used to still source from the bins. And we were like, yeah, let's go to the bins. And I had just bought a car in March, new to me, not a brand new car, but new enough to me. I had traded in my old one and got this new one. And the car was only a couple months old. It was the day after my birthday. We were going to the bins. We were on an on-ramp onto a highway that actually has a stop sign at the top. And we were stopped there. And this huge, like, freaking semi-truck, this company truck, I guess didn't know there was a stop sign, and he thought he was just going to merge on this on-ramp and through my car. He really hit us hard. And there was a lot to deal with from that. And that is why I remember that day so specifically, because there were a lot of factors. We got in the car wreck. It was the day after my birthday. Anyway, that's pretty much almost 3 flipping years. We have had at least one sale every day. We've had a reason to go to the post office. And 3 years later, we had a day where we had no sales. The reason this is such crap and why I'm really getting fed up, and I'm trying to stay motivated, and I'm going to try to help you guys stay motivated, but even though I'm a social media influencer and I'm on this YouTube channel, I talk to you guys, I tell you guys how to stay motivated, and I try to lead by example. Even I have days where I'm like, oh my God, I just give up. Like, what is going on with eBay? Why 3 years ago we had a day with no sales when we only had a couple hundred listings? Why is it 3 years later we're at almost 2,100 listings? A lot of those are electronics and better items than we used to have 3 years ago, because clearly we've learned what we're doing, and we're still having days with no sales. Very disappointing, but it happened to us. So if you guys are hearing that across the board that people are having slow sales and people are dead, it's happening to the big sellers too, you guys. It's happening to all of us. The only exception I would say is if somebody has absolutely, this goes back to my conspiracy theory I keep talking about, but if somebody has absolutely no clothing in their store, they might not be having slow sales. And people with a lot of listings might not be. So that said, we're going to talk about something else real quick. If by chance you are one of the few people, the lucky people right now, who did not experience a very disappointing Q4, who haven't noticed slower sales, who's doing great, can you not be a jerk about it to the people who are struggling? There's a time and place to celebrate, and I want to celebrate everybody. I want everyone to be successful. And if you are successful, I want to celebrate that. But there's a time and place. So if there's a thread in our Facebook group where everyone is discussing, hey, sales have been poop since Q4, sales are this, sales are that, and you come in with the one jerk comment of, mine's the opposite, I'm doing great. F you, don't do that. That is so rude. That is not the time nor the place. Now, if you want to make your own separate thread and say, hey, my sales are great, they're through the roof, I'm doing really good, do that, and we'll all congratulate you, and we'll all celebrate with you. But when you have to be that one jerk that comes in and rubs it in everyone else's faces that you're the only one doing well, and you say it in such a way that it comes across sarcastic or passive-aggressive, it's rude. Please don't do it. That's kind of like if somebody said, dude, my dog died, and you're like, well, gee, all my dogs are still alive. It's rude. You don't throw your success into someone's face when they're I don't want to use the word complaining, but if they're discussing or lamenting or talking to you or struggling or whatever with any kind of bad thing that they're going through, you don't throw your exact opposite in their face. Not to say I don't want you to celebrate if your sales are good. Create your own thread. Make your own thread. You can do that. Anybody's allowed to post in the group. I don't approve. I don't make post approval. Anybody can post. And you can say your sales are great and everybody can jump up and down for you and hoorah and celebrate with you. But I just kind of hate when I see like any kind of thread where everyone is struggling with one thing and one person has to come in and say, well, not mine. Good for you. Good for you. Go post that somewhere else. Okay? So try to put yourself in other people's shoes. If everybody is saying their sales are bad and you're the one person in the thread coming in to say, well, I'm the opposite of everyone here, think about how you're making all those people feel. Just, if you want to celebrate, create a celebration thread. We can have both threads. All right. So as far as our sales, we had the day of 0 sales the first in 3 years. Our weekends have been absolute and utter crap. They are in no way hitting the numbers they should be. As far as overall profit, overall sales, or volume. Sorry, that was Casey. I wanted to see what he wanted. And we all know that, clothing is slow, I guess. I don't think that I'm alone in thinking that it's just clothing that's pretty slow. So, Christian, what I'm talking about is not a Debbie Downer. If there is an entire thread of discussion about how sales are slow, and everybody is expressing fear, anxiety, stress, and you come in and say, I'm the opposite, that's what I mean. That's rude. You're talking about one person who's just being negative or a whole group of negative people. I don't see it as encouragement. I see it as being a jerk, period. And here's my jerky comment to you. It's my group. So if I see it as a jerk move, it's a jerk move, period. There's a difference. There is a huge difference. When you come across as snarky, passive-aggressive, sarcastic, I never once used the word bragging. And I'm saying this because I've had a lot of messages today from folks who were made to feel like shit by a couple of people who came in and had to point out that everyone else is doing bad while they're doing good. And a bunch of people messaged me, and I had to deal with that all day, and I wasn't really going to touch on the whole thing in here. But you can come in and you can be encouraging and say, hey, have you guys tried free shipping? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? That's encouragement. But coming in to make one small comment about how you are doing great when everyone else isn't, that is where I think it's rude. So, and I'm not the only one, because again, I had lots of messages today, and I really just wanted to touch on this just a little bit for those of you that are in the group, but you guys can carry this through your whole life. It's kind of rude to throw your successes in someone else's face when they're stressing out or worried or trying to vent. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so here's the thing. Holly says it very well. There's nice ways to say things are doing well for you, and then there's not nice ways. So if you're the person that comes in and you're bringing in a little bit of positivity and you're, adding a little bit of encouragement, then clearly I'm not talking about you. And you guys have heard me say this before. My dad used to always tell me, if somebody says something and you feel defensive, you're doing something wrong. But if somebody says something to you and you're like, oh, it doesn't apply to me, then you're not doing anything wrong. So, all right. So our weekends have been slow. Hi, Donatella. I see you. Weekends have been slow. And I think it's a lot of clothes that are slow. And, Q4 was poop. I can actually pinpoint the day, October 15th, which was when they did the item specifics. That was the day our stuff started to drop. Our sales, our Q4 went downhill. And it's never really bounced back from that. And the biggest example I can give you is that we always had 0.5% sell-through rate. Always. When we had 500 listings, we sold 2.5 things a day. When we had 1,000 listings, we sold 5 things a day. When we had 2,000 listings, we always sold 10 a day. And at one point in time, all we had in the store was clothing. Then we had a plush, then we had other stuff. If years ago, when all we had in the store was clothing and we weren't as great at sourcing, and we had not as good of brands, not as high of prices, blah, 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 and we were doing better than we're doing now when we know more and we do better and we have more than clothes, that's why I struggle with not believing my own conspiracy theory. Because when we invested in the wholesale palette of remotes, we really thought, hey, we usually sell 10 items a day between the plush and the clothing on eBay. Just speaking about eBay. So these remotes will add more. So we'll be selling 16 to 20 items a day. So we started implementing or listing these remotes and adding them to our inventory, and the clothes just went, and we're barely selling 6 things a day, and it's almost all remotes. Clothes just aren't moving anymore. I'm going to read back here. The comments, Meryl says, the comments negate the struggles others are going through. The challenges are valid and deserve to be heard. Very good, Meryl. Very well said. Very well said. There's a fine line between encouraging people and not, and I do have a really bad sinus headache, and I'm very tired, and I'm probably a little grouchy right now. And coming across a little bit harder than normal, maybe not, but I don't sugarcoat stuff, and I don't sugarcoat things, and I tell you guys how they are. And if you did something in the group, if somebody did something in the group that upset a bunch of people, I'm going to let it be known. I won't call anyone out. I won't call names. I won't point you out. I won't make a big stink about it in the group. But please be wary of other people's feelings. There's so many people right now who are struggling. New people, veteran sellers, longtime sellers, big sellers, super sellers, power sellers. Everyone's struggling with these slow sales. And if you're one of the very lucky few that's not, we're happy for you. But don't make less of somebody else's struggles. Wow, Michelle says, I actually seem grouchy. I don't really think I do. I just said that to be nice. I don't think I do, because people were made to feel badly about themselves in my group, and I don't really like that. It's not so much grouchy as I don't like it. You guys, we're all in there. We're one of the very few Facebook groups that doesn't have the cyber bullies, that doesn't have the people making fun of people for their the new person questions, where people aren't made to feel, bad about themselves if they have a quote unquote dumb question. And everyone's really positive in there. Everybody gets along. Everybody's friends. So, that it can't stay that way forever. It's going to get bigger, and the bigger you get, the more different kinds of. Thank you, the dude, for following us. You got your hungry hippo. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm always going to be protective of the group. And if a bunch of people are getting their feelings hurt, Mama Bear comes out, I guess. All right, so what I really wanted to make clear here is that it's affecting everyone. So if you're new to eBay and you think, wow, it's because I'm new, no. I know people who've been doing this for 20 years who grows twice as much as Keith and I do on just eBay. And they're struggling right now. It really seems to be pinpointed back to when they did the item specific things. Bailey, that's my theory. They screwed something up when they did all the new implementations with the item specifics, and they never fixed it, and nothing's been the same ever since. Yeah, Julie, I couldn't agree with you more. Thrifty Space Queen, that's my point, though. Everything is super slow right now. So where folks used to always consistently see 0.5% sell-through rate on used clothing, everyone just isn't seeing that anymore. It's people with 4,000 listings that should be selling 20 a day aren't. People with 20 aren't selling 10. We should be selling 16 to 20 right now because of what we have in the store. We should be selling 10 a day of clothing and plush, and we should be selling an additional 3 to 6 a day of the remotes. And we're barely clearing 6 a day for everything. And it's mostly remotes. Thank you, Donatella. I appreciate it. Yes, Miss Florida Sunshine. Perfect point. And I brought this up during Q4 with Keith. Because I stream a lot of stuff on Hulu, and it seemed like every other commercial on Hulu was Poshmark. I don't know why I had a brain fart on that. And I haven't seen eBay in a long time. And over the Christmas, it was tons of Poshmark commercials on Hulu. I got a payment for an item on PayPal notification to be sold. Yeah, that happens to us sometimes, scores galores, where Keith will get a PayPal and eBay's like slow to catch up or what have you. eBay's glitchy. eBay has antiquated like 1990s apps and software. It just is. Thank you, Donatella. Jason said eBay's going down the toilet. Woo! That's so funny. Sorry, but it is. Thank you so much for the super chat, Donatella. $4.99. Your little dancing hippo should come up soon. Thank you so much. Feel better, sweetheart. Sending you positive energy. Yeah, you guys should follow Donatella too. She has cool auctions. Yeah. Mel and Deb. We're not listing clothing as much anymore, and we haven't been sourcing. If you count when we went sourcing in October in Florida with Casey and Sydney, before that, since like September. And now clothing is starting to sell again in like the last week or so. But not a lot. Not like where we should be. Like, oh my God, a sweater sold. One sweater this week. We're so surprised. Tons of Makaris. I didn't see any of those on Hulu, but see, and that's what Keith told me. He said he was hearing eBay commercials on the radio because he said, I know that you watch Hulu all day, you listen to your podcasts, but on the AM radio that he listened to, like where he listens to Dave Ramsey, it was a lot of eBay stuff. So, did you check the phone app and the computer, Pamela? All right, so it is slow everywhere. So what is next? What can we do? What's next? Well, number one, you need to get rid of your poop. And there's a couple ways to get rid of your poop. You can do it fast. You can do it slow. And how you determine what is poop is going to be up to you. Some people like high dollar items. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat, Denise. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Your little dancing hippo will come up in just a second for you. Some people like to have really high priced items and wait for the right buyer, and they're willing to sit on it for months on end. Some people don't like that and want to get rid of stuff faster. Yeah, Jason, I sent out 60 yesterday and got 1 or 2 sales from it. Yeah, save them up. No, I'm kidding. I actually usually do them 3 or 4 times a day, but they had built up over the weekend when I was sick. All right, so determine what your poop is. It can be something that, in generally speaking, for those of you that have purchased our clothing guide for 2020, you will see that the majority of clothing falls in the mid-range on the sell-through rate. And our guide's broken, that has a sell-through rate for everything, used a new, and then Keith color-coded it, yellow, green, yellow, red, like a stoplight. Majority of stuff falls in yellow, which is 3 to 6 months. So at the end of the day, your clothing is going to take 3 to 6 months to sell. Period. That's just how it is. You can't change that. You can't wish it away. Very, very few items fall in that less than 3 months range. So you can determine your poop if it's older than 6 months, if it's been around a long time, if it's something the market has dropped out on because people raced it to the bottom. I don't think there's a race to the bottom on the remote yet, Aaron. I really don't. I think the most of it is on the clothing and plush, which I refuse. I will price high and wait 5 years. I'm sorry, you're not getting collectible plush at dollar store prices. Jason's getting cha-chings coming in during the live show. Whoop, whoop. Tag me in the Facebook group or email me, Pamela. flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. So here's the thing about the poop, and I know I've talked about this before too. If you have a lot of poop in your store, if you're new to the channel, I refer to bad items as poop. It can bring your whole store down, because if people are looking at your stuff and there's no click-through on it, eBay sees your items, your stuff, your store as undesirable. So if you're getting the traffic in, if people are looking at your items and they're not buying them, you're not getting the click-throughs. So eBay immediately says, well, a lot of people are looking at this, but no one's buying any of this stuff. So the Hippo Hut has undesirable items, and we're going to push all of their items down to the bottom of the searches because they don't have anything anybody wants. But if you have a pretty good sell-through rate, like let's say, I wish Jamie wouldn't be messaging me right now so much while I'm live. Let's say you have 100 items and all of them get looked at every day, but you're selling 1 or 2 a day. That's a high enough click-through rate that eBay says, oh, this person has items people want. This person has desirable items. And then your items will get pushed up to the top of the searches. Not me personally, but yes, Keith is. I don't touch Amazon. That is all Keith. And I could say the same for him on Poshmark, except he does help me sometimes. He shares the closet, and on Sundays he does my offers for me. And actually, I'm not even doing the remotes, to be honest with you. What am I talking about? It's not just Amazon. I help him teen and clest them. I help him clean and test them, but I don't list them at anything. I'm going through all our death piles and the I don't want is and getting rid of everything before we start sourcing again. Oh boy. But yeah, Keith has been putting a lot of them on Amazon. If you have actual poop, you cannot sell it on eBay, or nor can you mail it through the USPS. It is considered a bodily fluid, with the rare exception of that one commercial you see where they want you to poop in a jar and mail it back to them. That sounded like an infomercial. All right, so if you don't have a good click-through rate, you're just getting pushed down to the bottom of the searches. So you got to get rid of that stuff that's dragging you down, the stuff people are looking at but not buying. Now, you can auction it off. Put them all on 99-cent auction with like $7.50 or $8 shipping. You can create a category in your store for clearance and make them all $9.99 free ship. And this is not including jeans or anything that weighs over a pound, guys. You got to do that a little bit differently because it costs so much more to ship. But your first class clothing items that are poop that you want to get rid of, you can 99-cent auction, charge like $8 shipping. I think the shipping rate increase already came into effect. Most of our auctions are always $7.50 shipping, but you might want to raise it just a little bit for the price increases. You can $9.99 free ship it in a clearance category. You can run sales in your store, encourage people to buy a lot. Buy 2, get 2 free. Whatever you got to do to get rid of it. Or you can just pull it all from your store and redonate it to Goodwill. Make sure you get your receipt, because it is a write-off for you next year for 2020. You can't claim it on your taxes for last year, but you can claim it for next year. So if you're okay with dropping your listings by like a whole bunch, you could just pull them and donate them. At the end of 2019, Keith and I pulled like 200 items and just donated them out the door. We're going to take it as a write-off. And then over the 11 days he had off from his outside the house job, we got our listings back up to where they were because he was home and we had time to do that. Now we're just kind of doing a combination of it. So it goes through the $9.99 free ship. It sits for a month. If it doesn't sell for that, I throw it on auction for a couple weeks. If that doesn't move it, out the door it goes. Just try to get rid of it. I keep seeing my shadow back there and I think it's a ghost. I'm like, oh no. I'm about to get murdered on a live show. You cannot sell plush on Poshmark. Absolutely not. It is against policy and can get your account closed. So, get rid of the poop. That will help your store overall if you increase your click-through rate, for sure. Make sure you're following all of your best practices. And if you are a stubborn person who said, I will never do X, Y, or Z, and your sales are bad or slow, guess what? You got to stop being stubborn. Quit sitting on your lawn and yelling at all the kids to get off your lawn and try something new. In fact, I have a ton of jeans right now that I dropped my prices by like $8 on, and I'm charging $8 shipping on them flat rate for the padded flat, because I always said free shipping works the best, and I would still tell you guys free shipping is probably the best way to go. But if something's not moving, it's time to try something new. Period. So if you said you would never do free shipping, you got to do it. You got to try it. See if it helps. It's not really free. So if you have something up for 12 plus 8 shipping, it's going to be 20 free ship. You're not losing any money. It's the exact same thing. And my phone is really dry. But you got to go through them and just, make sure you're also following all the best practices. Free shipping, free returns, running sales, good titles, good keywords, good photos, good lighting in those photos. And if you're doing all of that and you're getting rid of your poop and your sales are still slow, then it's eBay's fault. And now it's time to make some hard choices about how you're shipping. I know a lot of people really want to not do same-day shipping, but we're competing with Amazon. And I can order something on Sunday night and it will be on my door Monday morning when I order from Amazon. This is what the people are used to. They cannot get certain vintage or used clothing items on Amazon that they can on eBay. And you would think that mindset would be like, well, I can't get this on eBay, so I'll order it. I can't get this on Amazon, so I'll order it on eBay, and I'll be okay with waiting a few days for shipping. And no, sorry, that's not how it is anymore. People want their stuff fast. People are spoiled. Amazon and their magic Gryffindor deliverers on their broomsticks have spoiled everyone. Do you guys realize how fast stuff comes from Amazon? So if you're not doing, I would say at least next day shipping, you are doing yourself and your business a disservice. You should be doing same day shipping if you really want to compete. But you can do next day. And if your excuse is that you work outside of the house or you're a hobby seller, then I guess your eBay business isn't that important to you. Hashtag tough love. Oh my God, Star is mean. But truly, if you're that stubborn that you're not willing to try new things or try new policies for your business, then you aren't that serious about your business and you really don't want it to work. Because if you were serious, you would be doing everything you can to make it work and continue to make a profit and make money. I'm not talking drop all your prices, race to the bottom, freak out, and sell all your stuff and because you're not making any sales. That's a disservice to your business as well. So that's a good point, scores. Flipper tools. Okay. And the next thing you can do, and I say this all the time, but it will save you sometimes, diversify to other platforms. Absolutely. Get your stuff in front of other people. And I take my own advice. You guys know that I'm totally against Mercari. I really don't like it. I think it's a big fat waste of my time. But I'm listing on there now. I've only sold one thing. But I'm only moving like 5 things a day with List Perfectly. But I'm still moving stuff over there. So now we're expanding to a 5th platform for us on Mercari. Brian O'Donnell says it's late in Scotland. Yeah, it is. Holy cow. Well, thank you for coming in when you did, and you can watch the replay. Have a good night. Yeah, one day handling time is absolutely different than same day. So if you let's say you had same day cut off 2 p.m. and then you had next day. You have next day and I have same day cut off 2 p.m. Something's bought at noon. On a Thursday, you would have until Friday closing of business at the post office to ship that out. I would have until close of business Thursday. So, we have same day on everything. If your mailman still hasn't come to pick up your packages, call your post office. See what they're doing. So diversify yourself, get on different platforms, and diversify what you're selling. So if you have a majority of used clothing and you're struggling the same way we all are right now, consider selling other things. Like we have remotes now, we have Plush. We have hard goods. We do a little bit of phones, local sales. But yeah, change what did Einstein say? The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Yes, I honestly do believe that eBay is slow right now. I think something is wrong with eBay right now. I think there's something behind the scenes in the programming on the back end, and I honestly believe it started with the item-specific debacle in October, and I really do believe that. I really think there's something wrong with eBay right now, especially with used clothing. But I also believe that just because something's wrong with them doesn't mean we can't change other things over here and try to overcome or circumvent their issues so that we can continue to have viable businesses. So how do you stay motivated? Focus on what is working. So if you're making a lot of sales over on Poshmark, maybe you spend half an hour less on eBay a day and half an hour more on Poshmark because it's working and it's making you money. If you're selling, that's a good example. If you're selling $300 in panties, sell more panties. Just focus what's working for you. If Macari's working for you, sell a Macari. Reward yourself. So even if eBay's broken, even if eBay's legit, hashtag eBay's broken, you can still make sales. So if you're only listing 10 items a day and you start listing 20 a day, you are going to see more sales, whether they're broken or not. What if something sells on Saturday at noon, when it has to ship out would be Monday for same day and next day. If it sells on Friday, it goes out Monday. Same for Saturday and Sunday, unless you have same day on Friday. So reward yourself. Let's say you only list 5 a day. Try listing 10 a day and tell yourself if you list 10 a day, you get a half an hour of your favorite show, read a chapter of your favorite book, go for a walk, whatever you need to do to motivate yourself. So focus on what's working, reward yourself. Make sure you're doing your to-do list and your routines that I talked about all year last year and a lot leading up to 2020. If you create good routines and good habits, if you have to-do lists, if you work your way through your tasks every single day, it will all get done and you will stay motivated. Because I wake up every morning focused on my to-do list, not on what eBay's doing, if that makes sense. Like, I know eBay's slow, and I know I need to make sales. I know this is our business, but when I wake up in the morning, my mindset is I got to work my way down this list of tasks every day, and I have to cross them off as I go. I don't have time to stress about eBay being a poop head when right now I'm focused on emails or a video or Poshmark. When it comes time to worry about eBay, when it's the little tick on the list, when it's time to list there, I worry about it. So just make sure that you guys, I cannot express it enough. I've said it 1,000 times, probably 1,000,000 times. Make sure you are doing those to-do lists, those routines, working your way through them, creating good habits, sticking to what is working, changing what doesn't work. Don't be stubborn. Don't be afraid to try new things. And I talk about the best practices for eBay all the time. And then I go do store reviews and people aren't doing any of them. Join a group on social media and make friends for support. This is a lonely job and most of us work alone all day long. Most of us are feeling very discouraged right now, very stressed out, very worried. Sales are slow. You're at your house by yourself talking to your dog, your cat, your hippo, your hamster, whatever. And you're discouraged. It's really hard to stay motivated and excited. Make sure that you have reseller friends, even if they just live in your computer. Some of the best friends I have in this world, in this lifetime, are folks I've met in the computer because of reselling that I have since met in real life, and have gone on vacations with and visited and connected with, that I now FaceTime and talk on the phone with almost every single day. People that I just love and adore. And I know a lot of other people that have made really good connections like that with really good friends. And those are the people you reach out to when you feel bad. I can message Holly and say, someone left me a mean comment on YouTube, and she makes me feel better. I can message Casey and say, oh my God, I had a day of 0 sales. I haven't had this happen in 3 years. And he can make me feel better. And they can do the same in reverse back to me. So make sure that you are in reselling groups, or you at least have some kind of reselling friends online. Not just like the people that follow you on Instagram that you somehow kind of superficially interact with. I'm talking like real groups of people that interact all the time. Make friends. Esmeralda's here while I'm live. I just hurt everyone's feelings by singing. I'm sorry. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. Talk to myself. I would talk to myself, but I have a lot of hippos and a hamster. I actually sing to her, poor thing. That's funny. All right, so important that you make friends. Join my Facebook group if you haven't. It's particularly a wonderful corner of the internet, I think. I think everyone in there is really amazing, positive, supportive. New people can come in without any kind of fear and ask questions. The veteran sellers are very patient and nice and answer them. A lot of people in there are very plush focused. I think everyone's great. And I'm in there. And Robert's in there. And if you really want to learn plush, you should be following Robert too. I don't think so. If I really sang, I'd probably be in jail for manslaughter. My group is the Flippin Hippos Reseller Pod. The link is down in the description box below. Or if any of my mods are still around in the chat, they can link the Facebook group for me. Thank you. That's my infomercial voice. And try something new. Make sure that y'all are being healthy, which is what I'm trying to do. I talked about at the beginning how I feel like my immune system is really beat up and I keep getting sick. So I'm going to try this new supplement that's supposed to help with that. And I'm going for walks when it's not 0 degrees. But if you are healthy, if you're getting enough sleep, if you're eating right, if you're getting exercise, if you're getting fresh air, if you're not sick, if you're not getting headaches, if you're hydrated, if all of these things are happening with your body, you can handle stress better. You can handle disappointment better. You can handle you can handle life better in general when you are at the top of your game. The top of your game may be different than the top of my game, or the top of, someone who's in the Olympics. The top of their game, the bottom of their game ain't even the top of my game. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's different. But just make sure that you're doing what you can do for yourself to stay healthy, get enough sleep. You guys, if you get sick a lot, if you have migraines, if you're not sleeping well, talk to your PCPs, talk to your doctors, get on meds if you have to. If you struggle with mental health like anxiety, OCD, or depression, don't be afraid to talk to your doctor or your therapist. Get on medication for it. It's 2020 and pretty much 1000% accepted that we all have some sort of mental health issue, ranging from OCD and insomnia to full-blown anxiety and depression. And it's actually okay to admit that now, and everyone's really open about it, and you can get medication for it, and you can feel better. Thanks, Daniela. But yeah, just make sure you're taking care of yourself. Whatever mental health or physical needs you have, between you, your doctor, your spouse, your friends, take care of yourself. Make sure that you're at the top of your game. Get enough sleep. Try to eat healthier. Try to go for walks and go outside and get fresh air. I'm one that needs to... I am such a recluse. I really, really am. I'm like... I leave the house twice a year to go to Vegas and then once to go to Florida for eBay Open and then to visit with Casey and Sydney. But we do leave the house every day to go to the post office, and we usually walk because it's a couple blocks away. So I haven't not been sick all winter is what it feels like to me. Thanks, Elizabeth. I will start approving people as soon as the show's over. Listen to me. I eat so many pickles and drink pickle juice because I'm gross because I like pickles. But yeah, just make sure that you keep it in your mind that this lag, they did the Facebook group. Thank you, Dave and Bill, or David, whichever one of you it is. Thank you. Keep in mind, we're just going to do a real quick recap. This thing that's happening, this phenomenon of a really crappy Q4 and slow sales and dead sales, it is happening to everyone. It is not just you. Please do not feel alone. Like I said, I know people who've been doing this for 20 some years that are being affected. I know veteran sellers, small sellers, big sellers, power sellers, hobby sellers. Everyone is affected. It is not just you. It is not just new people. No, this is the slowest and the worst I have ever seen eBay. Literally, I told Holly last week, it feels like we never had a Q4. It feels like we went from summer slowdown to regular time back into summer slowdown. That's what it feels like. We went from summer slowdown, regular time, back to summer slowdown. I've never seen it like this. Not just for myself, like for this many people, all at once, all affected across the board. It's everyone. It's not just you. So what is next? Now that everything sucks, and we've all admitted it sucks, and it sucks for us, it sucks for everybody. It sucks all the way around. What's next? What can you do? Get rid of your poop, boxing it off, clearance it out, pull it out, and redonate it. If you get to a point where you're not making enough money, you have a lot of capital, or you're worried about paying for your eBay bill or any of that, chill on sourcing, work on your death piles, and just build your capital back up. Make sure you're following all of the best practices. Even if you're stubborn, try something new. Consider your shipping policy. You should be doing same day. I feel you should be doing same day to compete with Amazon. Next day is okay too. Check your prices. Diversify what you're selling, where you're selling. Get different kinds of items in your store. Sell on many different platforms. And then how to stay motivated. Make some friends that you talk to every day that keep you motivated. Focus on what is working. Reward yourself. Make those to-do lists and those routines and get yourselves in some good habits that you can do every single day, so that you and your mindset is, I'm just waking up in the morning and I'm doing this and this and this and then this and then this. Because when you sit there and you think about how stressful something is, or how scary something is, or how eBay is doing horrible, you're going to lock yourself up and freeze yourself with fear, and you're going to find that you've been sitting there with your coffee for 2 hours, when if you had a to-do list, you could have brought your coffee out and shared Poshmark and listed on eBay and all kinds of other good stuff. Reward yourself, and most importantly, make sure that you guys are staying healthy, not just physically, but mentally. Take care of yourselves, mental health. That is of utmost importance. When we are physically and mentally healthy and we are taking care of ourselves, we will deal with stress and problems in much healthier ways. We won't stress out as much. You can think more clear. You can problem solve better. You stress out less. And it can become like a horrible cycle. Like if you have insomnia and you stress, you get more insomnia. So just make sure you're taking care of yourselves above all. Yeah, Scott says best. That was the best Q4 ever. Like, oh my God, no. It was the worst. So, hey Cheryl, I'm glad you made it in too. So there is people selling in other places too, but I don't know. I think eBay's broken. So the first thing that you should put on your to-do list every morning if you have trouble concentrating or focusing is put stay focused today. And then you can cross it off at the end of the day if you did it and you feel accomplished. Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking, Esmeralda. I feel like it's dead everywhere. It's quite possible we're in that time between Christmas and tax returns, but this is the worst Q4 and the worst Q1 in ever. We'll just say ever. We'll just say like forever. There's a lot of reasons why sales can be slow, but it's been bad since October, and it's been real bad for a lot of people, not just a couple. Oh, and my very last note, if you don't want to stay motivated and you don't want to fix it and you don't want to try new things, you can always just give up. You can always just give up. I'm not going to give up because I enjoy working for myself. I enjoy making my own hours. I enjoy being disabled and being able to say I'm disabled and I don't want to work today and not getting fired. I enjoy lining my own pockets and making money for my dreams and Keith's dreams instead of some boss at the top with his Lamborghini. There's 50,000 million trillion reasons why I love working from home for myself, and I'm not giving that up. So I'm not going to give up. But you can. I wouldn't advise it. I would suggest doing all the things I talk about. But if, I guess at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is if this is causing you too much stress in your life, if your kids aren't eating, I mean, if things are dire and you need to go back out and get another job, by all means. But I don't think it's bad enough that people need to quit. So, that's it. Join the Facebook group, guys. There's a lot of really awesome people in there. And it is a really good place to go each day when you need encouragement, when you feel down. And it's also a good place to go when you feel great and you did something awesome and you want encouragement or for help in general. Hit the thumbs up. Really helps the channel. Email flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter @flippinhippos on all social media. Got 4 thumbs down today. I think less and less people are liking my tough love. Oh well. Everyone have a really great night. Thank you so much for watching. Absolutely appreciate you guys spending the hour with us. And keep on trucking. Try to implement some of the stuff I said. Keep us updated in the Facebook group if things turn around for anyone. My mom used to say everything bad can't last forever, right? All right, I'll see you guys next time. You're the best. Bye.